I'm Sharon.
And I'm Keith.
And welcome to Reels Across the World. So this episode we are talking about Santiago. So we left Buenos Aires last time in Argentina. Yeah. We were on a LATAM flight, day flight, all was very well. We were slightly worried that the night before we'd heard there was some blackouts in Santiago, power cuts everywhere, and security, police on the streets, but we saw no evidence of when we got there. Our flight took off on time and it didn't seem to be too bad. Yeah. So we got a Cabify when we arrived, which worked really well. And our accommodation was an Airbnb, which was really, really nice. And it was in the centre of town, really, quite near Plaza Del Armas. But it had everything we wanted. And actually, you kind of want to just be able to go out and walk around and not have to get transport to get everywhere. Whereas we've kind of been told that Providencia, a lot of people do stay in Providencia, which is nice, had nice hotels and everything, but if you want to go and see the old town, you would need transport. So we were really pleased with our accommodation. It was really good value. It had a washing machine, which is the most important thing, and
a gym. And a swimming pool. And areas that you could socialise. So it was actually, it was amazing in terms of
it worked really well for us, and we definitely recommend it. So security-wise, we weren't stilly. We obviously didn't have everything out on show, but actually we were like, they've got their phones out. And so we weren't stupid, but don't be scared of it. That was kind of the long and short.
Chile is
don't
felt
be scared.
safe.
People were friendly, people were welcoming, and it was just really nice.
And it's very busy on the streets as well. So I think you maybe need to be a little bit aware of pickpockets. So just make sure that
as you would in any big city, really.
So other than that,
first day we arrived, our host had told us where to go and buy some food, so we bought some food, and we did actually cook a little bit, but actually being a vegan was
pretty well. I found my perfect vegan food, completos, a complete meal in the shape of a hot dog with almost everything on it.
It's not a healthy vegan.
Absolutely lovely.
But they were pretty special. Yeah. And we found vegan empanadas, obviously not in the beginning when we were there. We certainly didn't starve, and the food was really nice and not too expensive, really not too expensive. It was still cheaper to eat in, but not hugely. So vegan was wise.
That was all good. And our first day, we went to tourist information just to get the maps and get ourselves, get the advice and all the rest of it, which is how we normally start everything. And then we went on a free walking tour, one of these red cap walking tours.
Yeah, which was really nice. We met some other people. It was fine. It was interesting. Got through the buildings. You kind of feel obliged to tip quite heavily because she was lovely and we didn't mind at all. But she said that she actually has to pay. Was it $10 per person? She had to pay to the Red Cap organisation, and so she was expecting a tip of more than $10, which felt quite expensive for a free tour. And other people, I know other people have sort of said that, but we enjoyed it, and it was informative and quite a good way to start because obviously we had been worried about security. You don't really you just need to be sensible. We didn't stay out at night excessively either, so we were trying to stay in daylight hours and we're absolutely fine. So we did that. We wandered to a free museum called the National Museum. It's in Plaza Del Armas. We mainly stayed around there, looking at various things, the cathedral and the post office.
Just got a feel for the city on the first day, really. And actually, it's it's really buzzy. Feels really good. There's lots of people on the streets with stalls, etc., selling stuff and lots. One of the things about Santiago, huge numbers of retail opportunities. There's like hundreds and hundreds of shops.
There were lots of shops, but the security was there. So there was either security guards or police. Plaza de Armas has the police there. So at no point did we feel
in fact,
threatened.
In the supermarkets you felt very safe because there was so many security guards. I think went to a few, and one of them we went into, there was like 6 security guards who looked like
it was a big 3-store as well.
Looked like they were tooled up for a riot to be happening. So they were. We felt very safe.
Definitely don't need to worry about that. The next day we did Mercado Central, which is kind of
it's one of the markets. There's sort of wrought iron structures with that are common across South American cities.
Yeah, it wasn't the most the prettiest one that we've been to in compared to
and a bit more of a working market rather than a eatery than so
it's
in
less
Montevideo it would have been very much a sort of restauranty location. This was more of a working market with a couple of eateries inside of it.
So later in the afternoon we went to this Santa Lucia Hill, which I thought was really pretty. It wasn't quite sunset, but it was that sort of time of day where the light was really nice. Lots of other tourists around, really beautiful fountains, nice views, we saw some nice birds. Really nice, and we didn't stay out late again, we just walked back. Very easy to do, to walk back from where we were.
And I think one of the things about Santiago is it has this very diverse architecturally, it's very diverse. So you have very modern buildings and
and lots of green space in between,
lots of green space, and you have very old buildings and lots of different architectural styles, all sort of muddled up in between each other. So actually, very interesting. And the Santa Lucia Hill is a bit like that. It has a very ornate fountain.
It's free, by the way, as well.
But it's in the middle of the city, so it's got these modern buildings all around it. So it's quite a nice way to see the city from the little hill.
So the next day we went to the bigger one, which is the San Cristobal Hill, which is the one you can go up in the vernacular and then you can take the cable car down. Our guide had said that if you're staying where we are, we could just do one. But we could see on the map that it made sense for us to take the cable car as well. It's slightly more commercial. There's a free zoo there actually, which we didn't go to because we didn't have children, and some other bits. But it felt a little bit more commercial, really. But very enjoyable. Nice trip up, nice things to see up there. And then we got the cable car down because we were heading towards the Providencia area and to Sky Costanera. Where we were heading for cocktails at sunset. So we had our pisco sours. It was very nice. Not overly priced, really. I think it was about equivalent of about £18 for both of us to go up. So not too bad.
And the cocktails at the top, it was just lovely. It took a little bit of time to get seated to get a cocktail.
You had to queue.
You had to queue up to get a seat. But we got there, and so we got there well before sunset and managed to grab a table before the sun started going down.
It was really pretty. You can see from the pictures.
It was just beautiful. It's lovely.
It's also in a shopping centre, so we had a little wander around the shops, but obviously we didn't want to be out too late with it getting dark. So we'd ordered a Cabify and then it didn't really come. So it said it was coming but didn't, and then we were like, let's just give up. And so we just decided to walk. It was Saturday night, it was about a 50-minute walk. It was really busy, and so through Providencia, through the local things, we stayed on the main roads. Lots of people were drinking in pubs. It wasn't late, it was just dark, so it was about 8:30.
I mean, it just felt very safe. We didn't feel at any point...
We didn't regret that.
At any point we didn't feel threatened or anything, and there were young women walking along the street on their own without any problem at all. So I think we would say that Santiago felt much safer than we had heard it,
we were
previously.
Trying to deliberately not be out too late, but actually we were like, it's not that bad. And what did we do? Next day was a trip. We did a Get Your Guide trip, the first one we've ever done actually, but it just seemed really easy to book it online. You pay in pounds on your credit card and you know what you're getting, really. The lovely tour guide came, picked us up at 6 a.m. We went to Canyon de Maipo, and which is in the Andes, so we saw a bit more of the Andes, which is quite nice, seeing it from the Chilean side rather than the Argentinian side. It just made a bit of a difference. Beautiful lake. You can see from the pictures. Interesting about the dam. You could see the old tunnels that they'd used in the past. But it's just a really nice area. And then
so actually Canyon de Maipo is famous for the adventure sports and kayaking and all the rest of it. Obviously we weren't doing that, but it's also a ski area, I think, in the winter. So it's well known for its sort of adventure sports. We weren't there doing adventure sports, surprisingly, but a very beautiful area. Very
it was just nice views of the hills and the mountains. And,
nice to also on tours. It's nice sometimes because you meet other people, and we got to meet a few nice people and had a really nice time, so it was good.
Next day was another full-on day. We were going local and doing it ourselves. So we did another quite long walk to the bus station, but we set off early. It was fine. Santiago was waking up, really, wasn't it? People going off to work. It felt very interesting going through the zones of like a bit of obviously the main business centre. Then it was a little bit busy and maybe slightly poorer area, and then you get to the bus station. We felt safe at all times. Obviously, we were walking, found the bus station, got the bus, which was I think about £6 worth.
It's one of those comfortable, sort of, the big coach buses. So it's a very comfortable seats. Got the front seats, I think, and we sat at the front of the bus, and we were off to Valparaiso, which is the port that's associated with. It's the nearest port to Santiago. So it was really interesting.
It was just a short walk to it's mainly the art, and obviously it's got the stairs, it's got funiculars as well, but we never really nearly did get up one of those. We saw the bits that we kind of wanted to see, the pictures. We going down the slide.
It's very well known for the graffiti art on the buildings, and there's lots of fantastic graffiti art on lots of the buildings in the neighbourhood. So it's actually that was really interesting, just walking around and seeing the artworks.
Yeah, so very easy to sort of navigate your way around. We saw everything that we wanted to. Met a nice American couple who'd kind of gone the other way from Villa del Mar on the bus to get there. So they were saying, "Oh, you need these buses. You can get one of these buses, and this is where you get it from." So we went with the locals and got the bus, which is always fun. It was like 25 cents or something ridiculously cheap.
Went to Villa del Mar.
Villa del Mar.
Yeah, beach town.
The bus actually drops you off next to the museum, which has the Easter Island main statue there, which is nice to see. Yep. There is one in the British Museum if you don't want to go as far as Chile. We didn't get to Easter Island, so it was quite nice to see a little bit.
Then we went to the beach, had a little bit of time on the beach. Villa del Mar is very famous for its music festival, and in fact we were there just after. You could still see some of the posher hotels had quite a lot of security around them, but it's very well known for that music festival, which is one of the biggest in South America. Yeah,
we hadn't realised, because we were thinking we maybe would stay there for a few days as well, and then when I looked at prices, it was like, why is it so expensive? And then I realised about the music festival. But actually, it worked really well, just doing it as that day trip. Quite happy with that. It was nice to sit on the beach for a few hours. Experience that, really.
So, and we got the bus back from Villa del Mar back into town, and that was a really nice day. And the next day, we started off with a little walk through. We went to the cathedral, which is beautiful, and we went to the Human Rights Museum and the Cultural Museum, both of which, but the Human Rights Museum definitely one to visit. It's architecturally a very interesting building, but the exhibits are really worth seeing. It's about the human rights abuses across the world, but particularly focused obviously on the time of the Pinochet coup, etc. in Chile, and what happened during that time, and actually quite harrowing stories. So that's definitely worth doing.
And then in the afternoon, we'd booked ourselves on the 3:00 tour, winery tour. So it was the one, we'll put the link below, that you can get to very easily on the metro. So we'd pre-got our BIP card and we were ready to go straight from that. So we ended up going, there's lots of different ways to get around it, but it's on a line, very easy.
A little walk from the metro, but the tour was great. They've got grounds afterwards as well, so you could do the wine tour and then have a little relax in the vineyard, and it was great, yeah.
And on our final day, we were just doing a bit more washing, and I needed to book a few things, and you went off to the museum,
Pre-Columbian art. So that was Santiago, lovely city, brilliant place to base, and we actually spent quite a long time there and felt we could have spent longer. So
Yeah, I mean, there was easily enough to do in that time. It was nice not to have to rush some of the things we've done in the past. We've not been able to go into stuff, but we could here. So hope you can like and subscribe.